Morning. Everybody doing good? So a couple things we're going to go over real quick. It's 10 o'clock, so we're going to get started. This is our preseason vendor meeting. Just a reminder, this is not to discuss any changes for the beach activities ordinance. That'll be later on in the year. This is for the changes that took place and to ensure that everybody understands what they are and maybe answer any questions about those. I understand, we might have some ideas of different ordinances, so that'll come later on in the year. But today we're just going to, make sure everybody understands what the changes are and to try to answer any questions. Introduce a few people to make sure you know who you need to contact if anything comes up. We had pretty good turnout this morning, so appreciate that. We have made a few changes to staff. So one of those changes is we've added a couple of supervisors on our night shift. Some of you might know we only had 2 supervisors, so whenever they went home late in the evening, there was no supervisor out at night. We've added a couple new supervisors. So you will have every shift that's out there working will have a supervisor on shift. And so if you've got a pen and a piece of paper, I'm going to give you some names of some supervisors and their cell phone number in case you need to contact anybody. I'm going to tell you when their shift is, so you'll know who is the supervisor that's working. So Monday through Wednesday from 6 a.m. to 4:30, so that's Monday through Wednesday, 6 to 4:30, is Joe Cannon. Joe, stand up right there. That's Joe. His phone number, all these are 850, but his phone number is 830-8014, 830-8014. Monday through Wednesday, 1:30 to midnight. That's going to be Andrew Underwood. Andrew will be here this afternoon because he comes out at 1:30, so he's not here this morning. But Andrew's phone number is 401-8640. So again, that's 1:30 to midnight, Monday through Wednesday. So he's going to be the shift supervisor. It's 850-401-8640. Yeah. And then you got Wednesday through Saturday, 6A to 4:30 for our day shift. Is Shane Busby. Most of you probably know Shane. His phone number is, of course, 850-520-3311. So that's 520-3311. And then Wednesday through Saturday, 1:30 to 12A, is Corey Summers. Most of you probably know Corey. He's been with us a little while. And his number is 635-5947, 635-5947. So that pretty much covers 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to midnight. So if you'll know who to call during whatever time. Now, if you have a complaint or something you need to file, we ask that you reach out to or go to our website and file that complaint. But if something comes up that you think you need to talk to a supervisor, those are the ones that you need to talk to. Yes.
That's Shane and Andrew as well.
Well, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Whenever I said Monday through Wednesday, it's Sunday through Wednesday. Yeah. So Wednesday, as you can tell, is our overlap day. So that's when everybody kind of works. That's our meeting day, training day, and all that kind of stuff. So Wednesday is a day that everybody's kind of working. So should have plenty of help out there if you need it. Another change we've got, everybody knows Mr. Garner, Danny Garner. He's been our beach manager for quite a while. Danny's last day is March the 5th, right? Danny is retiring, I think, for the 6th time. Danny's retiring. He's been with us quite a while, very knowledgeable. We appreciate Danny and appreciate what he's done for Beach Code, but it's time for him to take on some new endeavors. So he'll be retiring March the 5th, and we've hired Frank Larkin. So Frank Larkins is our new beach manager. He started with us a few weeks ago, and he's picking it up very well. Frank comes to us well. He's new to code, but he's a very experienced manager. Comes to us from the military, retired officer out of the military. And I'll let him tell you a little bit about himself. But I think you're going to enjoy working with Frank. Very easy to talk to, and you'll be able to reach out to him to talk to him whatever issues you might have. Whenever I get through, Frank's going to come up and he's going to introduce some people. And we've got beach ops, we've got Turtle Watch, we've got the fire department, and some other people. We're going to let them do some talking and going over a few things that they want to tell you before we start going into our ordinance changes that we need to make sure everybody understands. So we just hope everybody has a great year. I think it's going to be a busy year. So just mainly a safe year, and it's going to be here before you know it. Actually, it's pretty much here. It's getting, so I'm looking forward to it. This will be Frank's first one, so we've got several, we've probably got 5 or 6 new code officers out there as well, which will be their first year, so y'all bear with them as they've been riding around in this winter thinking, can't believe they're paying people to do this, but it's fixing to change for them, and we've been telling them, because when October gets here, they'll be saying, man, when can we get a break? So without further ado, everybody knows Mike Gainey too. He's our deputy director. My name's Tony Corman. I am the director. Kim Jones is our office manager. Y'all deal with her. And everybody knows Melanie Walters. She's our permitting person over there that issues most of the permits to you. So we appreciate you being here. Thank you. And without any more, I'm going to turn it over to Frank and let him have it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First of all, let me start by saying I guess the smile on my face expresses that this is my first season, right? Don't know what I'm getting myself into, right? Well, first of all, thank you, sir, for the introduction. Again, my name is Frank Larkins. Again, as he had mentioned, prior Air Force. I just recently retired, 28 years. Aircraft maintenance is my core background. Although new to code, not new to code, you know, just a different environment, if you will, in the military. But again, it's dealing with people. And so I like to say that I'm very experienced in that space. I'm excited about being here and working with you all and getting to know you. But I'm excited about the people piece, all right? Life is a contact sport, and I believe this is a contact sport, you know? And so the pre-season meeting, vendor meeting, is what we're here for today. We do have quite a bit to share with you all, and we have some folks on tap today to kind of present to you. My number, if you want to contact me directly, is 850-401-8624. 8624. No. Anytime, text message, phone call, really doesn't matter. Whatever we can do to help, that's what we're here for. All right. But the lineup that we have for you today, we're going to kick it off with beach ops. We're going to have either Mr. Josh Irvin or Mr. Ryan Adams come speak on their behalf. Following that, we're going to have Turtle Watch. All right, Miss Lacey's going to come out and do her thing and, you know, and tell us all about that. And I'm really excited about turtles, you know, as I already mentioned to her. I can't wait to see it. And then third, we're going to have Lifeguard and beach safety. All right, so we're going to have Mr. David Vaughn, and then also Officer Sammy Sanchez is going to come before us and talk to us a little bit about that. And then code, my team, we're going to finish it out and talk some of the changes in the ordinances with you all. All right. Again, we will have an opportunity for questions as well. All right. So long as we all play nice, you know. But we will have an opportunity for questions. All right. Questions and answers. And looking forward to that as well. All right. Did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything. But again, I'm just excited about doing the business. So with no further ado, we'll start off with beach operations.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. My name is Josh Irvin. I am the Director of Beach Operations. Some of you, I think I've met previously in my role here as a Beach Maintenance Manager. So I'm glad to be back as the Director. Glad to be representative of Beach Operations here today. A few things I want to share with you all. We are very similar to code compliance, a 7-day-a-week operation, as most of you already know. We do stagger our crews in a similar fashion, so Sunday through Wednesday, Wednesday through Saturday. We do wrap up at 4:30, unlike code, who is out here until midnight. But we're always available during the week to help out any way that we can. Our number, for those of you that do not have it, is 850-267-4578. And for whatever reason we're not there to answer the phone, we do have a voice messaging service where you can leave a message and we'll promptly get back to whomever calls us. A couple of things that I always like to do at these meetings is just a reminder. We have bag holders up and down the beach for beach garbage. One of the areas where we continue to find issues is with the placement of bonfire debris. Obviously putting bonfire debris in a paper bag, never a good idea. But one of the things, or one of the challenges that it creates for us is extra weight. And a lot of these bag holder locations, we're having to manually remove that garbage from the beach. Can't drive in certain areas, so we have to walk these boardwalks every day, and we have to move those bags all the way up to the top side to remove the garbage. So please be mindful of that. I'm sure they'll share the part of the code that talks about this. I would imagine most of you all are already aware, but we do require by code for vendors to remove their garbage from the beach. One of the other challenges with the debris is with the skewers, the wooden skewers. They poke through the bags and end up poking the crew, and it's just not a good mixture. So just please be mindful of that. We are going to be tracking the amount of bonfire debris that we come across on the beach, and also on or in our bag holders for future purposes, so that we can keep a record of that and hopefully minimize that. Obviously at the end of the day, that's our goal, is to remove that garbage, but do it in a safe manner. Second thing is we are rolling out a new transportation network this year. In just a few moments, I'm going to ask Tabby, our transportation manager, to come up and share some of this exciting news that we have. Historically, we've been providing an A to B route, as it's called, from Grayton to Hotz Avenue. We're going to be expanding that this year, so very excited about that. But as a reminder, we're here to help in any way that we can. We just ask that you help us by being mindful of what you place in the bag holders. And let's look forward to a good year and share the successes of that. So with that, I'm going to ask Ms. Tabby to come up. Ryan Adams is our Deputy Director. He's also in attendance today. So he's a new face to the organization, but glad to have him as part of it. So Tabby.
Good morning, everybody. So I think there's been a few announcements that have been made recently with a little bit of data. So on Sunday, we will be rolling out the new tram routes. And through that, we're going to be able to offer access to not just Grayton Beach, but Blue Mountain Beach, Gulfview Heights, Ed Walleen, Fort Panic, and Dune Allen. And so this is going to be our first phased rollout. We're really excited. We've got the parking lots at Grayton Beach. We have the new municipal parking facility on 393. It's about 300 parking spaces. The tram team has been prepping over the last couple of weeks. You may have seen the vehicles out and about, driving around. We're ready to have everybody come visit us, take you to a beach maybe you don't typically go to. If anybody has any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me. We can answer any questions that you have or anything like that. All right.
Hey, I'm Lacey. I am the president and permit holder of South Walton Turtle Watch. Most of you know the drill. There should be information in the packet if you're not signed up for our text clearance program. So as always, just wait for the text, and then you can go ahead and set up. Pretty much everything is going to run the same as it did last year. Miramar, we will be driving. In the west, we will be walking primarily, and then from Grayton on is mostly driven, except for around the outfalls. One thing that we did see a little bit last year that we could try to button up a little bit, the canvases, just make sure those are really secure, so all those blow off. That will not only deter a turtle, but scare her, or she could get stuck in it. Also, some of you that have the racks that are supposed to be 3 feet off the ground, we're seeing a lot of the leashes underneath. A sea turtle's intention is to nest in the dune, and she will go underneath that, and if she becomes entangled, you will see me and lots of other people that you don't want to see. So let's just try to avoid that. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. If you need help signing up, you can text the hotline. If I don't respond, go ahead and call it. That goes right to my personal phone, which I should not have said out loud. Dang it. Yeah, and like, everyone's super respectful of it, and we appreciate it so much. Most of you work with us so well and help us if you see tracks or something that was missed or a hatchling. You guys are really good about calling us, and we appreciate that respect. Just know that not everybody or all the volunteers move at my pace, which is fast as I can. So we do have some retired people that are walking. Just please be patient with them. If you're getting to get on the beach at 6:30, I feel like that's a privilege. But most of the time, you're on their way before 6. And I will say, in the Panhandle, I clear the fastest ever. So, does anyone have any questions? Cool. I appreciate it. And you can always reach out if you need to. Thank you.
So, one more thing really quick. If you do want information quickly, we did launch a website this week. It's waltontransportation.com. It does have an interactive map. It shows all of the routes, all of the tram stops, and contact information for us.
Morning, everyone. I'm David Vaughn with the South Walton Fire District Beach Safety Division. Do I have any new vendors who haven't been through one of my spiels before? Sorry to the rest of you. All right. Quick updates. We've got 19 towers this year. We added 4 towers. They were private contracts, so we now have footprint at Alice Beach, Watersound, Seaside, and Watercolor. In addition, the county has opened up the Seagrove Regional Beach Access, so that puts us right near the Old Tom Thumb Cumberland Farms area right there, just east of Bramble Grove. So we've expanded our footprint so we can get there faster. Very, very excited about that. We're going to be rolling out March 1st. We're going to be out there from 10 to 6, but I will have limited supervisory patrolling staff out there as early as 7:30 to 8 in the morning, and we'll be out there until sometime 6:37, especially after we go into the time change. We are on call for responses. The newest things that I want to touch on, besides just the updated tower locations, would be a reminder to keep the emergency vehicle accesses clear. So for those of you dropping off and picking up equipment, really any time of the day, please, I'm not even going to say please, don't block the EVAs for any amount of time. It doesn't matter. Like, we've got to be able to get on and off because Murphy's Law dictates anything that can go wrong will. If you're there just to drop off for 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to get a code on your beach, and we're going to need to get on or off there right when you're in the middle of trying to offload your stuff. So just don't do it. All right? Park off to the side, walk a few extra steps. That's one of our hard and fast, not going to be nice about type of rules. Everybody clear on that one? All right, cool. Next one, the emergency corridors. I know this one has a little bit of gray area insofar as we've got 15 foot up by the toe of the dune and then 15 foot from the water line. And we all know that right now we're the beneficiaries of having a lot of beach for the moment. And as we get those southeast winds and that starts to ebb and flow throughout the year, I can understand on the east side of the county, especially with the washouts and everything, sometimes we don't even have 15 feet total beach. You know, we all know about those spots on the east side, right? And so how can you maintain 30 foot worth of emergency corridor if you've only got 30 foot of beach total, right? It's kind of like everybody else says, common sense. What we ask for is an ability to move laterally across the beach when we're responding to an emergency, all right? And we have got a really good working relationship. I don't think I've had a complaint or a run-in with a vendor in the last 5 years, if I think about it honestly. Like, we've gotten to such good relationships with having my people buried in at their spots, taking ownership and getting to know you guys on a personal basis. We work together really well. And I want to keep that energy going. And I just want to remind you guys, help us keep those emergency corridors open, especially up towards the dune line, so that we can get back and forth and on and off of those EVAs that I just yelled at you about, all right? Other thing, the flag conditions. If you are, anyone here involved in the water sports side of things? Paddleboard rentals, skis, any of that? All right, I tend to rub you guys the wrong way sometimes when I shut you down because I go red or double red, right? If you have a problem with it, you don't waste your time yelling at my guards about that. You can call me direct. Does anyone here not have my phone number? Damn it. Pardon my language. Okay, if you don't have my phone number, it's 850-803-2601. If you got a problem with the flag conditions, give me a call, and I'll talk your ear off about it. All right. Just a reminder, we fly to the lowest common denominator, the worst conditions in the county. So even if we're yellow over at Inlet, but I'm ripping down at Miramar, we're going to be flying red for the whole county, okay? Same thing with double reds. You guys know I don't go double red lightly because I've got to mobilize resources from our enforcement partners, and it's all hands on decks. It's not fun. I don't do it for fun. I don't do it to make my life easier. It makes everybody's life harder, all right? Remember that when I'm coming off of double reds, especially when we've had multiple days of double reds, the surf can look better, but those rips are dug in, water's still moving, and we've got to check those holes before we come off. And so we're going to take ample time to make sure that they're not going to be people eaters, especially for people who are sick and tired of wasting their money by being here and being told no, right? And so the minute we tell them it's not double red anymore, they think coming off of double red means it's green, and it's just go. And that's when we have most of our fatalities and major water rescues, is when we're coming off of double reds. You guys have been fantastic about helping us and manage your beaches. A good lifeguard is a dry lifeguard. Same thing with your beach vendors. We don't expect your guys to go out in the water and be helpful. Are some of your guys former guards or current guards, or are some of you watermen and know how to help? Of course you are, right? And we value that, but that's not your responsibility, right? That's our responsibility, but as you also know, we don't teleport. We've got 19 towers across 26 miles, but we've still got several mile gaps, especially on the east side. It still takes us, even on a boogie, with clear corridors on our ATVs, it can take us 3 to 4 minutes to get even a mile, half mile. And if anybody who's familiar with the drowning process knows, we got about 4 minutes, right? So sometimes we're not even getting on scene until 3 or 4 minutes in, right? And then it just becomes a recovery point. What I ask you guys to do is, if something goes down, whether it's a medical emergency or a water emergency, dial 911 first. If you happen to catch code, WIXO, one of our guys, of course, wrangle them. But if you're out there on an island, so to say, where we're not, at arm's length, call in that 911 and give us the best location you can. And keep your eyes on the last known location of where that person is, instead of sending anyone out there. So if we have a basis to start looking and conducting our search, that's the best information we may have at that point. And that's really where we could use your help on that. Cool? Everyone knows this drill. Okay, cool. Last bit of it is, any vendors who need to get their guys CPR certified, we do offer that. So we will get your guys certified. We highly encourage that. If you want information on that, go ahead and reach out to info@SWFD. Just send an email asking about it. Does everyone have Sammy Sanchez's 2 a.m. personal cell phone number? He'll give that to you in just a minute. He likes them at about between 10 and 2 a.m. That's when he likes his inquiries. So with that, I think that's all I got. I think Danny Garner's going to be trying out and doing our swim test next week. So we look forward to seeing Danny Garner out on the beach as a lifeguard. Does anyone have any questions for me? It's good to see a lot of familiar faces. I think that I'll say it bluntly, we've had pretty easy summers the last 2 years. The surf conditions have been in our favor. We're proud to boast that we've had no drownings countywide, but that's as much luck as it is skill and coverage. Every year, yeah. So every year, I'm not counting on it being another cakewalk this year. We always get hit in the spring with those southeast winds, and I'm looking forward to spring break. That's always a bit of a challenge. We always tend to get some incidents at the very beginning of June, the Memorial Day weekend. But for the last 2 years, we've had it pretty easy after that. I'm not counting on that again this year. And so we're looking forward to working really well with you guys. And the more that you guys can get your flags changed, your private flags changed quickly to match ours, it creates less confusion. And we're looking forward to continuing a really good relationship with you guys, okay? So have a great year. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. For the record, my number is 911. If you don't have it, I'll be more than happy to give it to you at the end. My name is Sammy Sanchez. I'm the Fire Marshal Division Chief for the South Walton Fire District. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak today. I'm going to talk a little bit about what my role is with beach vendor safety, or beach vendors. Bonfires, that's probably, most of you know me for that, and I have some information today. I want to preface all that by saying I'm merely the messenger, so, and please hold all your questions so I'm completely done, because there's some stuff in here that you're going to have questions on, I promise you. So for the, so to give you some numbers, in 2024, we issued 9,200 temporary bonfires, and then we issued 3,100 annual permits. In 2025, we issued 9,799 temporary and 3,172 annuals. So the annuals are kind of staying in track. We've done a couple of things. We've heard the concerns and the queries and the questions and the phone calls and emails about our website. It's horrible, I will tell you that. Our process for the bonfires is not where it should be, and we're diligently working to get that corrected. It's just a longer process than you could ever imagine because of all the nuances that involved with private and public vending, and it's just a little more complicated even for the people putting the site together. But what we have done is we've taken the annual permits out of the system, so that should free up some space in there and make it easier for those that are having to get your permits. And then we changed the time. We heard people were staying up till midnight to get the bonfires, and so we changed that to 8 a.m. So hopefully that works a little bit in your favor. A couple of things that changed in the ordinance, and I'm sure we'll discuss this a little more, is now there's you can have two types of bonfires. You can have a wood-fueled bonfire, which is $150, and then you can have a propane-fueled bonfire, which is $100. And for the record, SWFD did not increase their fees in any of this. So that's the county, the way the ordinance was written, but I just want you to know that we did not increase our fees. There's a fire extinguisher required for all bonfires. I'm sure that we'll get into that more as we discuss that in the ordinance. I'm going to skip on that. We begin using a notification tool. It's called Everbridge. This is an extremely helpful tool. So what this does is we're able to push out this information anytime we have high wind conditions or we have to shut down bonfires or whatever the case may be. So it is imperative that you make sure we have your email and a phone number, because you will receive an email and a text and a phone call through this Everbridge system. And it's going to tell you, hey, South Walton Fire District is suspending bonfires due to whatever the case may be. So if you don't have that information updated, please reach out to our staff. Speaking of staff, I've got Dexter Payton and Kelsey Calvert. She's one of our customer service specialists. I'm sure some of you vendors have spoken with her. She's new to the game, so please don't beat her up too much. And then lastly, and again, I am merely passing on information, but this is very important, and I think it's important that you should know this. On February 9th, 2026, Governor DeSantis issued an executive order and declared a state of emergency for drought and increased wildfires for all 67 counties. What does that mean? That's okay. The one on the right, yeah. So what does that mean? In short, that means that the entire state is poised to be under a burn ban. Okay, you can see on the map, everything in red is in a burn ban. That little red county above us, that's Walton, or that's Washington County. I have no reason, I don't understand why they went into a burn ban, but they pulled the trigger on it. I can only speculate. I don't even want to speculate because I don't know why they did it. But I'm going to cover where we're at in just a second. What I want to do is just talk a little bit about the KBDI, which is the Keach-Bynum Drought Index. That's how they measure dryness. It's a little bit boring, but I just think it's important you understand this. That's how they measure dry soil and the surface fuels, which help determine wildfire risk. So that way, when you read this, you'll understand. The scales range from 0, indicating wet soil, to 800, indicating extremely dry conditions. Everything in the red is probably between 700 and 800, 600 to 800, I should say. That's where it's at. Fire management agencies use the KBDI to guide prescribed burns, impose fire restrictions, and plan emergency responses. Our current conditions do not warrant a burn ban at this time. I'm going to rephrase that. I'm going to re-say that. Our current conditions do not warrant a burn ban at this time. However, the Walton County Fire Council is keeping a close eye on this, and they are monitoring it weekly. We're having weekly meetings on this. Should the conditions worsen, here's the bad part, folks. The long-range forecast is that it's going to end up in Walton County as well, a burn ban. Even more bad news is we don't know how long that's going to last. Typically, these burn bans have gone 7 days, 10 days. They're saying it's going to be longer. And I can't even tell you how long that's going to be. But I think it's important that you understand it's probably coming. So keep in mind that the BCC, well, let me back up. So once the Fire Council, once they meet, and if they determine that a burn ban should take place, they present that information to the BCC, and then the BCC enacts the burn ban. But because the governor issued a state of emergency, the BCC could actually do it now if they wanted to. It's highly unlikely they're going to go under the recommendation of the Walton County Fire Council. But again, it's important that you understand that because the long-range forecast would keep this burn ban in place for longer than it's probably ever been. So again, if this occurs, why is that important? Because if this occurs, there will not be any beach bonfires issued. So could you pull up the other one, please? The good news is, there's good news to this, I promise. It's coming, I promise.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So it may be hard to see, but the red and orange is 600 to 700. We're up here, 100, 200. Probably nothing to be concerned about today, but I'm telling you, with the forecast that we're hearing from the experts, they anticipate this really engulfing the whole state. I hope they're wrong. I, for one, hope for rain. I know that's not what you guys want to hear on the beach, but I'm washing my truck pretty regularly, and that always brings in the rain. It's not seeming to be working. But whatever rain dance you got, man, we need it. So that's kind of where we're at with this. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions on anything I've discussed at this point. Yes, sir. I knew you were going to ask me that, David. Yeah, it's still an open flame. It's still an open flame, and yeah, I get you, and I was expecting that, so I appreciate that. Any other questions? I promise I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news, but I think it's important if you're vending on this beach and that is your livelihood that you understand this. No questions? And I brought Dexter because I was expecting to get beat up. All right, well, I appreciate you folks. If you don't have my number, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to give it to you. Seriously, everybody's got my number. I already tell everybody it's on the bathroom wall at the red bar, so I don't care if you have it or not. It's 850-527-6146. Sure. I've got 23 months left, so blame me away. Now, I appreciate your time, and seriously, if you have any questions or concerns, by all means, reach out to me. Again, I feel very strongly about this, and I feel very strongly that you should be aware of what's happening in our state. This is probably going to be unprecedented, unlike anything we've ever seen. And when I say they don't know what the timeline is, that's scary to me. Usually forestry would tell me, oh, maybe a week or two we'll get some rain, but they don't even want to predict, so that's the scary part. But anyway, I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, again, you know how to reach me. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Awesome. Well, hey, thanks again for all of you all coming out today and sharing that information. A lot of good information. I wanted to preface our part of the presentation with this here. Because of the try, I believe the gentleman here just had, and all of the information that was shared, I wanted to read this to you here. And again, I know you all know this, but on the ordinance here, if you all have not gotten a copy of this, I believe we had a few copies out front. But it says, now therefore be it ordained by Walton County Board of County Commissioners. I think that's important simply because all of the information that was shared, code compliance, comes to you all in a way of support. And I want to just thank you in advance for your support of what we do, all right? And that is by way of enforcing, if you will, or educating the public on what it is the county commissioners are pushing forward. And I believe, again, we have that support already. If not, you wouldn't be here. But again, I just wanted to highlight that. But thank you all in advance for supporting what we have going on. Small team, but we do a whole lot. Very, very broad AOR, if you will, area of responsibility. But with no further ado, I wanted to go to the next slide here. Wanted to kind of give you guys an open book test, all right, if you will, looking at previous year trends. And I know we just got, Samuel was just sharing with us the drought conditions that are coming our way. But as you can see here, the big takeaway from this slide here is bonfire, right? Fires. That is our leading trend, if you will. I know it's very small print. But in 2024, we had about 7,000 or so cases. Last year, we had 11,840 cases. Approximately 66% increase, if you will, on cases just simply alone for fire. But again, we thought this slide would be very helpful for you. Again, going into this year, seeing what last year looked like and the trends. We want to obviously reduce that, right? The drought may help us, but if it does not, again, we wanted to bring that to your attention. All right? Help us, help the county reduce some of the trends or the impacts that we do have on the beaches here. In addition to that, we have glass and ceramic containers, personal, just for those that cannot read the print here, personal property on the beach, digging holes, vehicles on beach, special events and beach vendors. But again, our two leading is fire and digging of holes. Again, we just ask you all, and we thank you in advance for your support. But my code officers will be out. They will be out in high number doing what it is that we do. And again, we start off first by educating. The goal for us is compliance by voluntary. Ours, voluntary compliance is what we're truly looking for. 2025 total suspensions. I know we have 7 here. I'm quite sure we had a few more than that. But just help us reduce these numbers, all right, as we go forward, all right? So we do have a few slides here. Again, this slide presentation, the intent for this was not to, again, verbatim or read these slides. It's kind of giving you all an idea of the areas, if you will, of where the changes are. However, what I would like to do with you, just to make sure that we are all on the same page before we leave today, is to go through page by page. Again, not too many changes, but again, I would like to go page by page with you so that if we do have any questions, we're all on the same page and we leave here crystal clear of what the expectations are. Everybody good with that? Yep, I appreciate it. All right. But changes to ordinances here, again, changes in wording, again, bonfire, special events, name and logo requirements, all right? So those are some buzzword topics of discussion, and then it continues on here, all right? Timing of expiration on dog permits, all right, we can expect some changes there. The location of overnight camping, inclusion of the pet, all parts of a tent, so a few changes in that space as well. altering of vehicle permits, timing of lottery selection for vehicle permits, and so on and so forth. Next slide. And again, we took the liberty to, again, because Bonfire is one of our leading trends, we wanted to kind of highlight, again, line by line, what those changes are for fire here. And then special events. But at this time, what I want to do, who does not have a handout that would like one? All right, please, thank you. All right. Shane knows it like the back of his hand, so you can probably get his. Yes, please, if you don't mind, just jot your question down, wait till the end, and we'll address every question before we get out of here today. All right. So if you can walk along with me, that'll be fine. Page 6, if you will. Page 6, we're talking animals on beach. That change, that permit will expire, it says, at midnight on July 31st. Section 2254, overnight camping. Any beach access, beach dune system, parking area, or any other areas owned, leased, dedicated to, or maintained by the county. All right, those are the areas that we're talking. No overnight camping is allowed in those areas. All right, page 7. Items 2 through 10, all propane fire pits shall be in an approved UL listed or CSA listed container. All propane pits shall use a standard 20-pound propane bottle. Propane fires, propane regulator hose shall be 5 feet in length. Propane fire pits may not exceed 3 feet in diameter, must sit a minimum of 4 inches off the center. I've seen some pictures and videos, y'all, I tell you, it blew my mind. I'm like, well, I know business, you know, and I understand this is just the beginning, right? But it's all about the bottom line. And I do know I come from a space where, or a place where shortcuts tend to become norm, tend to become the standard, all right? I'm just asking, I understand bottom line and I understand business, but please, please, please help us maintain and keep the compliances in order, all right? If there's anything that you all need or need to help you all move forward in your business and all of the things, just let us know, all right? I'm all about people, process, and resources, all right? And I do know without those 3, it tends to impact our bottom line. But if you are without any of those, just let us know what that may be and see how we can help you. But some of the pictures and videos that I've seen, it justifies the 7 suspensions, if you will. But again, we don't want to do that, and we want to ensure that this season, I'm excited about it, but this season is a successful season. Line 7, it says no cooking attachments such as grates, griddles, tripods, rotisseries, etc., shall be allowed on fire pit. I've seen that as well in pictures, but hopefully we don't continue that. A working 51-pound, a 5-pound, thank you, 5-pound ABC, fire extinguisher tagged in compliance. If I had a 51-pound, I don't know who would carry that for me, but a 5-pound fire extinguisher, please, thank you. In line 9, attendant permittee cannot leave fires unattended. All right, that's fine, that's fine. Go ahead. Sure.
That 5-pound fire extinguisher, I had a lot of questions about, it's gonna cost me a lot of money, I'm gonna have to put my fire out. You don't have to use the extinguisher to put out your fire, you just have to have it on site. Yes, sir. It depends on the location. I mean, I think Cody and I have had these. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Shane. Thank you.
Inlet, for example, if you got a big not at Inlet West, and you got a fire walk through it.
Yep.
It's all- Yeah, so it's all within that same vicinity, and yeah, one fire extinguisher.
And along those notes, I should have mentioned this earlier, if your staff, or if you want to give your staff some free education on how to use a fire extinguisher, please reach out to me. We can put a class together, we can travel, we can do it in this room, we can pretty much do it anywhere we need to. So if I get enough vendors that want their staff to know how to use a fire extinguisher, we'll be more than happy to provide that for you at no cost.
Cool. Thank you. No worries. Page 12. We're talking tents. So it shall be unlawful for any person to use, erect, possess a tent with a total of footprint larger than 10 by 10, including all strings, bags, straps, legs, and the like. So that's the change. Beach equipment, item S. Beach equipment must be set up and maintained to ensure beach patrons the ability to traverse the wet sand. All right? I've been out a few times as well, so again, I understand we're trying to get as close as we can to the water, but that is our ideal place to traverse as well. So just make sure that is enforced. 13, permitted vehicles on the beach. 13, 2257 Bravo says the permit decal shall not be altered or modified. Why would anybody do that? All right. Going down to Delta, and we have another change here. So it says a lottery selection will be conducted by the county on the third Tuesday in May. The third Tuesday in May. And all applicants will be notified of the results. We'll continue on, page 16. Excuse me. Talking county scuba here. All permits for limited access areas shall expire at midnight on May 31st each year. And then we continue down to the next paragraph. It says Walton County residents with permanent mobility disabilities upon proof of such disability and proof of Walton County residency such as voter's registration card, homestead exemption card, or driver's license, may be issued an animal limited access area permit for the processing fee only. Vehicles and trailers issued a limited access permit under this paragraph must be registered in the state of Florida. Must be registered in the state of Florida. And then Nancy, N, all permits issued shall expire at midnight on May 31st. Page 18. Temporary use of special events. Charlie 1, no special events shall be held between Memorial Day and Labor Day between the hours of 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., with the exception of approved nonprofit organizations. Page 19, beach vendors. Bravo, permit required. It says a vendor that has provided goods or services for the use on the beach that does not have a defined area of the beach may obtain and utilize a delivery permit to only deliver the goods or services to the beach, but may not engage in vending from the beach and shall not deliver to a beach access included in the managed vendor program. Yep. And then further down on that same page, Delta 3, effective February 1, 2026, beach chairs and umbrellas shall display the vendor's name and or logo. All right. Next page, 20. Yeah. Well, there isn't any specific direction on size and place. It needs to be visible, you know. I believe intentionally give some gray, if you will, some flexibility, but it needs to be visible. And I think we all know what that means, but again, just make sure it's visible. It's not offensive in any way, you know, but yeah, there isn't any specific size or color, if you will, or place. Yep. I believe that will work. Let me read this again. It says, yeah. That's correct. That's correct. That will suffice. Yes, sir. All right, page 20. All vendors, we're looking at paragraph 6 down the bottom here. All vendors shall ensure that all equipment is removed from the beach, dune system, boardwalks, and parking areas within 1 hour after sunset. All right, vendors with specific site permits may store their equipment in an approved temporary beach storage box. All right. Thankfully, I have some great code officers. They've showed me all of the all of the non-approved storage locations and all of the things. So, again, just thank you in advance. Again, just help us to maintain good compliance going forward this season. And I believe that is it. At this time, we could open up for questions and answers. This is, yeah, that's down. Go ahead, sir. And I'm sorry, if you don't mind, if you have a question, please, if you want to state your company, your business name, that'd be awesome. You want to come, I'm sorry.
Just so I have it recorded, sorry.
That's okay. I just had a quick question on
Sure.
on the cases, on the bonfires. What do you constitute a case? It seemed like there were a lot of those, 11,000. So,
If they spend time checking permit stuff, that they have to be recognized.
Okay.
That's not necessarily, all those would show a violation.
that's what I mean, because I was like, that's not 11,000 tickets, it's just 11,000
That's correct.
cases of, okay,
But they've spent time on bonfire.
that your guys spent time on
Yes, sir.
bonfires.
Yes.
I got you. Okay, that's all. I was just wanted some clarification.
And while we're talking about bonfires, let me clarify, or just make sure of one thing. Under the new bonfire rules where it talks about attendant or permittee cannot leave the fires unattended, that is the person, the permittee or the attendant that's working for the bonfire company. That's not someone attending the fire. And so what we've told our, just like the question about fire extinguishers, what we've told our officers is, whenever they pull up to check a bonfire permit to make sure everything's in order, if you're close enough that you see them pull up and you come walking up there to help, then, I mean, you're close enough. You don't have to be standing right there by the bonfires. Everybody understand that? So if you've got 3, I mean, you just need to keep your eyes on them, you know, at the same location. And then if you see an officer pull up to check a permit, you should make your way over there to them, show them that you got a fire extinguisher, show them that, you know, you're the attendant that's working the fire. And so we're not going to like say, you know, you were 3 feet away from the fire, we're writing your ticket. So just keep that in mind, please.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? You mind?
We're recording all of it, so it just helps us to get it recorded.
Thank you.
Hey there, I'm Michelle Mowry. I work for CC Boone. We do a lot of special events, wedding events, and the chair logos are just for the daytime umbrella chair setups, right? Not for
That is
our
correct.
special event and the bonfires.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay,
I believe it says in the ordinance, exempt for special events and bonfire.
Okay.
Yep. And let me verify. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. Any other questions? Comments? Again, go, she has a question.
With Fire and Tide Beach bonfires, I was curious if there is any sort of public record of the special events that have already been approved for each area, so that as we're like planning for bonfires in the future, if we can go ahead and know whether an area will be off limits, kind of thing. That makes sense.
I don't think there is anything like that, but maybe that's something that we could work on creating. You're talking about like maybe a calendar that shows where they're at that's available? It could be something.
Yeah, currently our system does not allow for that. We have looked into other systems in the past to try to put it out there so people can look to see what's available in the future, but our current system doesn't allow for that, but that's certainly something we can look into.
Thank you.
I do like the way you're thinking, though. So that's awesome. Any other questions? Okay. All right, again, my name is Frank Larkins. I'm your new Beach Code Compliance Manager, 850-401-8624. I can be reached at that number. I'll turn it over to,
I just have one question, maybe, Mr. Irvin, I hate to put you on the spot, but do we have any information on the new beach access opening?
The Seagrove Regional Beach Access is currently about 99% complete. We're still waiting on some of our permits to be closed out. I do not have a definite date, but I would suspect that probably the first part of March is when we're planning to open that up.
I don't really have anything else. Thank you, Frank. Great job. Again, everybody's got, did anybody come in late that didn't get the phone numbers to the supervisors that I could give those numbers out? Okay, yeah, we'll send out a vendor blast so everybody's got those supervisors. They're excited for your phone calls. So. Yeah, didn't I see them come in?
Yes.
Yeah. So, as you know, the managed vendor program starts March the 1st through October 31st. So Brandon's assured me they're ready to go. You know, just, you know, the other thing that we haven't mentioned is our beach, we call them beach stewards now. They used to be called beach ambassadors. So they're beach stewards. How many did we hire so far? What, 8? So we're gonna have one of them at most every regional beach access. So you'll be seeing the beach stewards around. So, you know, they help us a lot. They basically advise people. Yeah. Yeah, they help us with stuff like glass and ceramic, the tents. We get a lot of complaints on the tents, people setting up tents below the halfway mark and different things, so they help us a lot with that. But if if nobody else has got any questions, we appreciate Sammy and Turtle Watch and Beach Ops and all them coming. We're doing this again at 4 o'clock. Sammy, you got anything else to say?
Again, once again, thank you for your time. If you have any questions about bonfires, I'll probably turn it over to Kelsey.
And what Sammy was talking about, we had met with him last week and discussed this. This is going to be a serious thing, and I mean, they're talking about an extended period of time, so we don't know how long that's going to be if it happens. So, like Sammy said, pray for rain, because we don't want that to happen. And last year we were very fortunate, Dave, about those double red flags. We didn't have a lot of them last year. It didn't seem like the year before, I think, or 2 years ago, we had a lot. So, you know, we was fortunate last year. Hopefully the weather will stay good this year. And I can tell you the weather's bad in some areas of the country. I just spent 2 nights in New York, stuck in an airport because I got snowed in. And if you've never done that, you ought to try it. It's real enjoyable and fun, and them tile floors in the airport are really soft. It does. About 8:15 last night is whenever I made it home. It was ridiculous. But anyway, no other questions. That kind of concludes our little preseason meeting. We do appreciate you. If you did not sign in when you come in, please sign in. That just lets us know the vendors that showed up for our meeting. So if you hadn't signed in, please sign in on your way out there. Sure. Yes.
Right, so let me address it.
Yes.
Yes, so remember the first thing I said about our website? Yeah, we're working on that. So that should have been adjusted, so if you choose propane or wood, it's only gonna check one or the other. That was done so that we could track that. But if you're still having problems, by all means, please reach out to us and let us know. Yes, sir.
Just on that note, once we get all the kinks worked out on it and we know that it's working accurately, I was gonna let you guys know that if you pay for one fire and you're burning the opposite, you're gonna get a ticket for bonfire no permit. So if you have a propane fire, it should say propane on there, not propane and you're burning wood. If you have a permit for propane and you're burning wood, so then that's what we're getting. And also, you guys did a really good job last year. I think it kind of got minimalized some. But again, just reiterating to people about burying the debris. I mean, it was still an issue. We had a few vendors last year that got suspensions. Had to pay high fines to the magistrate. And again, that's, I think, another reason why some of our cases look higher is because now in the morning, our morning shift officers are returning back to the previous spot in the fire before that, or the previous night, looking for that debris. And that's also logged in as a check for that fire. So, again, you guys did a good job last year, just reiterating to people, it's really important to bury those bonfires.
Yeah, for the record, whatever permit that we see, they see as well. So there's no, you can't say, well, it's different. No, they're seeing the same thing we are, so thank you, guys.
Anything else? Well, we appreciate it. Thank y'all.